Accent Priory presentation in association with all WNY News Radio. It's another week of the Nick and Dan Show, Season 2, bitches! Starring your hosts, Nick, and that lovable motherfucker, Dan. Not to mention myself, Carl Winslow. And featuring Think So Joe.
Yeah, boy, all up on today's episode, friends and awesome musicians, Tokyo Monsters, join the boys for another week of random conversation. Whether it's music, merch, shows, or comedy, the gang is ready to talk. Plus, music from Tokyo Monsters. Ready? Here we go!
Joe! God damn it. Do your thing, man.
Nick and Dan Show.
Good enough. We paid him for this? I guess so. God damn it.
Big desk, big couch. We have Carl Winslow and his minions, and we have our good friends, Tokyo Monsters.
What's up, fuckers?
Hey! Theme song.
Welcome everyone to the Earl and Joe Show. We have X and Priory with us today. So tell us, guys, what are you guys doing for 2018? What do you got planned?
We got this shitty little YouTube show that, for some reason, is in season 2.
And I'm gonna drink beer.
And, we just sit around and we go from person to person and get interviewed. So today we're on the Earl and Joe Show.
Right, I feel like this just happened. Hang on a second.
It's a new thing I do. I go on shows and hijack it.
That's alright.
Joe Kent, I'm coming for you.
Ah, shit. The Think So Earl Show.
Yeah.
That's right.
Of course,
Right.
when we were on for the 100th episode, it was the Brian Shows All Show.
Or the Nick Gets Drunk Show.
Yeah, the Nick Drinks a Fifth of Wild Turkey Show.
I was listening to that. I was, the progression throughout the night was pretty cool.
Well, I literally drank a bottle of wild turkey in a 2-hour frame.
Yeah.
That's what we were doing that evening.
That's a lot of turkeys.
That's what right?
I called him, too. I said, the deeper he gets in that bottle, the closer he's going to get to the microphone. And it happened.
Did you become a real turkey?
Did I gobble?
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't remember. I drank a whole bottle of wild turkey. I don't fucking remember.
I guess you just got to do it again. We'll find out.
Whose idea was it? I'm assuming it was yours, Joe, to have the little toy monster.
It was actually my fiance's.
Was it? Mm-hmm. That was fantastic.
I know, I love that.
That was good.
We had to do it like twice because it took forever the first couple of times, and we're just like cracking up because it's taken so long to get there. It won't be the last one where we used the little wind-up dude.
It was incredible. At first, I watched it without the sound, so it was just like, wait for it, because I was taking a shit at work. That's what I do. Have my phone with me. And I was cracking up in the stall of the bathroom. Just out loud, laughing my ass off. It was a good time.
Quick side note, remind me never to borrow your phone, ever.
You did the same thing when I joined the band. With that stupid, whatever the fuck, a Foo Fighters song. I told you I learned the Foo Fighters song and it was the wrong one, and you were like, I said, shit! And you said you were cracking up in the bathroom.
That's why you shouldn't borrow my phone either. I don't want your poop phone just like you don't want my poop phone.
I wash my hands.
So do I.
Then we're fine.
Alright, do you wash your phone?
Occasionally.
How's that work?
Pretty good, actually.
So you like submerge in water?
No, see, because I work in a dusty metal shop that I have these personal hygiene safety wipe things that are supposed to be used for respirators and shit. So it works.
Everyone poops.
Everyone poops.
When can we
It's
get
a
the
book.
phone 5S?
Some people poop on other people. They're into that kind of thing.
Oh, Shiza.
We have the casting couch, man. I'm pretty sure it's happening.
Oh, wow.
I know, look at the time.
Well, gotta go.
See you later.
Listen here, you little bastard. Let me poop on your chest. Oh, Disney, please don't sue me.
And Disney gets ruined.
You know what? Never mind. Fuck you, Disney. Fuck you and fuck Nicaragua. We're taking on everybody this season. The deaf, the Nicaraguans, Disney.
Yeah.
Who else am I pissed off?
Everybody.
Good. Good.
Doyle's tour manager.
Fuck him too.
We played our 30 minutes.
Yeah.
We're not pulling any punches this season.
No, not at all.
We're dropping names.
Right. I don't know what your name is, but Doyle's tour manager for this go around. Fuck you.
We're never
Bless his
playing with
heart.
them again.
No.
No, you just gotta edit all of that out, or just throw in the boop.
No,
fuck it.
absolutely
He'll
not.
keep it in there. Fuck it.
Just like I hope that Danzig remembers the last time that we met face to face. Midget, no talent, irrelevant fuck. I said it to his face. If he remembers, we're never getting on a bill with him.
Do you want to talk about it, Nick? I feel like there's some
Right.
anger.
No, not really. Not really. He was just shooting his mouth off and I was drinking. I'm seeing a theme here.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
And I told him, no, you're stupid. Oh, shit.
So, boys, I know we've kind of been over this before, but we actually have the full band here now. Tokyo Monsters, take us from the beginning. Where'd it come from?
It came from my basement.
There you go.
End of the story.
That's a wrap.
It sounds like a great 60s horror movie.
Right.
It came from Joe's basement.
Well, now to summarize it, it started with just talks of wanting to jam. We were hanging out with Stalking Neptune at the time in preparation for their I think it was your guys' last show, right?
It was probably the wedding show.
Wedding show?
I think it was. Well, that was one of the last ones.
Yeah, we had talked both of our camps wanted to get together and jam, and sort of what happened.
Nice. I like it.
So we tried to write a couple of songs and see if it all meshed together, and then it stuck. We actually didn't have a name for quite some time because we figured it wouldn't be important until we were actually playing out.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really not that interesting. It's like other bands.
It really isn't.
We got together and started writing music. It's probably no different than you guys.
Right? I hear you.
Hey, what are you doing Thursday? You want to meet up?
Yeah.
It was,
Pretty much, yeah. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
But where did the name Tokyo Monsters come from?
Tokyo.
I don't actually remember what triggered me to think of that, but it was just one of the ones that came up in suggestion, and that one stuck.
Stuck the most. We were all voting on a bunch of random names we were coming up with. We were like, all right, we'll take the 5 best ones, come back to them next week, see what we feel about them, and that was one that stuck the most.
Nice.
We tried to make it on the lowest part of priorities, because whenever you put a lot of emphasis on getting the right name, and you always wind up with something you're not happy with.
True.
Yep. Like Rainbow Butt Monkeys. Finger 11.
Finger 11.
Yep.
I mean, the cool thing when we first got together, we were all pretty much in the same mindset of kind of what we wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really cool because it wasn't just your old school boring rock. I don't care. I don't want to play that,
Right.
And it was fun, man, because when we started writing music, there really wasn't any rules on what we could do or couldn't do,
Yeah, when you're in those infantile stages of creating, there's always no boundaries, and you feel like you can make no mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. That's how it should be, It's I've been in metal bands, I've been in harder rock bands. This one, by far is my favorite, but you always kind of come into that thing where you feel like you're pigeonholed,
Mm-hmm.
So if you're in a metal band, everything you write has to be metal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Where this band and you guys especially, I feel like if you guys enjoy playing it and it sounds cool, fuck it, let's play it.
Yeah,
We'll see what happens.
We're ready for ourselves first.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
then, if people like it, that's cool, but we're kind of fulfilling our own
ambitions.
musical fantasies,
Right.
what we can do, what's
Absolutely.
possible.
Helps keep it genuine.
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
Right? It makes it more fun. This way it's not all the same. I like a band where you get some harder rock stuff, then you get some poppy stuff, some bluesy, tunes. It just makes it more well-rounded. And I actually think it makes the show more fun, too.
It
You
does.
never really know
What you're gonna get next.
what's coming next.
The audience is on a non-linear path with
Right.
their evening.
then I think personally, I think it helps as far as getting fans too, because you're going to get fans that like rock, get fans that like a little more poppy, blues stuff, as opposed to, like I've been in just straight punk bands, and you get your punk fans, and that's really about it. Anybody else, they're pretty much alienated from the whole approach. But when you finally get to sit down and go, yeah, let's do something a little bit different. This is where I'm feeling today. I don't feel like writing a punk song. Let's write a metal song. Let's write a classic rock tune. It makes it more fun.
Variety is the spice of life.
It is. It is.
Well, the cool thing too is I think what we're doing, it's not necessarily that unique or that. But the thing is, here nobody's playing what we're playing.
Mm-hmm.
You might find it in some other areas, but I think here in Western New York, nobody's doing what we're doing.
Right.
Without really saying what it is we're doing,
we're playing music.
Yep.
We're playing the music we like to play.
Nobody plays music. No.
Nobody puts music in a corner.
Nobody.
The cool thing too is I think there's a lot of people that want to have a band like us.
Mm-hmm.
They want to listen to this kind of music, but for a long time, the kind of thing that we're doing, there hasn't really been bands playing it.
Right.
True. It went in extremes in a different way.
Yeah.
Just for instance, thing that comes off the top of my head would be like a Dragon Force kind of thing, where it's very melodic, but it just went in that hardcore fucking video game metal stream.
Is that a genre?
It's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like you're fucking playing Galactica.
On the Nick and Dan show.
Yeah.
That's right, Nick and Dan show, Dragon Force, we have finally figured out what the fuck you are.
Sounds like you're playing Galactica through a distortion pedal.
That would be awesome.
Artificially sped up in the studio.
There you go.
Shots fired.
Oh, it's a no holds barred kind of season.
We're going to have to figure out what the exact definition of libel is.
Dragon Force fans, you can send your hate mail to 1625 Buffalo Avenue, Niagara Falls, New York, care of Scott Loeffler.
Going forward, we're going to call them Regular Force.
Regular Force.
Oh, no.
Morning Breath Force.
Ooh, yikes.
Yeah.
That's pretty brutal right there. I get some funky morning breath going on sometimes.
It happens. Now, boys, I was there for the debut show of Tokyo Monsters. So was this asshole.
I was.
And you guys commanded the stage, had this giant wall of sound that comes through. And then, I see you guys at Stamps, and you have a fourth member, Steven, and it's just even more powerful. How did that whole thing happen?
Well, we're already certified for 13 JD Power Awards. We needed 15, so we needed an extra guy.
All right.
Simple as that.
I like it.
Right, because, you guys have obviously all been in bands to some extent before, and was it just something where you're like, hey, we want to bring you back in, or, what kind of brought you to that point?
Well, Steve and I have always been, synonymous with each other as, a guitar duo from, the time we were younger. We started playing at the same time, and I knew this was something that he would really like, and he would bring, all that and more to the table, and together as a four-piece band now, it's just the most fun we could possibly be having.
Nice. Now, do you feel like with another guitarist on stage, do you find it a little bit easier for you to be able to do a little bit more with your guitar work and vocals, or?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It has a whole other dynamic.
Right. All right. So, Steve, what do you think about all of this?
Well, the whole thing was my idea. The whole band is just a figment of my imagination. It's like
So don't kill him.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Jason White of Green Day. That's all.
Yeah, if he
it's
dies,
all
if he
Jason
dies,
White.
the whole band ceases to be. It's not real.
It's all Green Day is actually all just Jason White. So no, it's great. I love these guys, and I love making music with them. So
Well, we're excited to see what's coming next. Now, I know you guys have a little bit out there recorded. Do you have any more recordings in the works? Where are you going with things?
So we're setting up the groundwork for some more recordings. I think we're just going to do singles as we build up to an amalgamation of all the songs to release on one big disc. but for now we're going to go a little bit at a time, just because sometimes you find yourself in a position where you release a whole lot of music at once, and it can be overwhelming to the people who are trying to, like, introduce themselves to your catalog.
Right.
So we just recently released 2 singles, which you can find on YouTube, on official Tokyo Monsters YouTube. And if you want to download them for free, you can go onto our Bandcamp, Tokyo Monsters Bandcamp. But if you're interested in picking up a physical copy, say you can find us at Stamps on March 10th, where we'll have those, merch, and more.
Does this thing air before March 10th?
Negative.
Yeah.
It'll probably be in April.
It's going to be too late, but...
You guys were there for March 10th.
Yeah,
you picked up the CD.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for coming out.
Right.
You can also catch me on the corner of 19th and Niagara.
There you go.
From 9 to 5 on Tuesday and Thursday.
There you go. Now, unlike last season, we're not filming 2 days before it airs. This is all
I worked
pre-filmed
so
shit.
hard, I rehearsed that merch plug in the car.
It's like a scene from The Godfather. He's sitting outside. Dick and Nan. Dick and Nan.
Just like that.
Yeah, exactly like that.
I've lost my
Faithful
fucking
reenactments.
mind. Nick and Dan.
Nick and Dan. Nick and Dan.
I thought you guys were going to change to the Dan Nick show. What happened to that?
He wanted to take the spotlight. I'm just a bass player, man. I'm in the background.
I don't remember this conversation at all.
I play 4 strings and drive the van. It's what I do.
There's no power struggle, no,
Only when we're trying to decide who's on top and who's on bottom for that evening.
I'm what's known in certain circles as a power bottom.
Yeah,
so,
I feel like physics really determines that.
Yeah. Although a bigger man, agile I am, I prefer the bottom.
We're learning something new tonight, folks.
Season 2 is going to a dark place.
Along with apparently part of me.
Yep. That's right.
Oh, fuck. Oh, I need another drink. Hang on. Holy shit. Almost got a mental image there, too. Glad I blocked that shit out.
Outstanding. So this merch.
Yes.
You guys have t-shirts. I own
We
one.
do.
What else you guys got?
We have that
Way to
t-shirt.
stick to the wardrobe plan, jackass.
New room!
Fuck
We
it.
got some pretty dope-ass stickers now.
Yeah, we're
We just
still
ordered.
in the infantile stages of the whole accumulating merch thing,
Mm-hmm.
but we got some sweet stuff planned.
Come on down to Dan and Nick's Used Guitar Emporium, where you'll find the weirdest shit. I mean, seriously, what the fuck? Need a guitar that's caught fire?
They got it.
Instruments, something to shoot on.
We got it.
That guitar looks like it has double horns.
Got one of those.
Stuffed with green strings.
We got that too.
We know what we're doing.
What's this one do again?
Need a 2-string bass?
Son of a bitch, we got that as well.
Need knobs and dialies?
Not sure what it is, but we got one of those too.
And stickers everywhere.
I mean, I don't know if you want it, but we've got it.
Dan and Nick's Used Guitar Emporium. We're completely lost. Do you want to see Tokyo Monsters coming up live? Well, you can, and your opportunity is August 24th in Nietzsche's, 248 Allen Street, Buffalo, New York, 14201. Catch our boys, Tokyo Monsters, along with Kurt Riley, The Feast, and Church Key Social. Friday, August 24th, starting at 10 p.m. See Tokyo Monsters tear it up on stage at Nietzsche's in Buffalo for $5. You can't beat that. Go out and see Tokyo Monsters live August 24th in Nietzsche's at 248 Allen Street, Buffalo, New York.
If you want to have more of the Nick and Dan Show weekly, be sure to check them out on YouTube at XM Priory, EXHAMPRIORY, Tuesdays every week. Our
Are you looking for your next amplifier? Are you trying to redefine your sound? Do you need that piece of equipment to complement your amazing guitar playing? Well, look no further. Bison Electronics has what you need. Look up Bison Electronics online. Handmade from the ground up in Buffalo, New York.
So yeah, we have stickers.
Nice.
Stickers and shirts.
Earl's like, bring it back, bring it back.
Segue.
And we're looking to get more merch. It's just a money thing. So if you want to give us money, we will take that money to buy merch.
Absolutely.
Feel free to pre-order merch from Tokyo Monsters. They don't know what you're going to get yet, but you'll get something.
Should start a Patreon.
Probably.
We should.
Send us your prayers and your money so we can keep merchandise coming out.
One like equals one respect.
Probably. So you have stickers.
We have stickers, yeah. We
Yeah.
just got stickers. And what's cool is a lot of the artwork we do in-house. Joe's lovely fiance does a lot of the artwork. Steve is doing some artwork. So a lot of the stuff we're doing ourselves.
Nice.
We're lucky to have some great artists on board our little project.
Right? It definitely makes a lot of difference. You have to send it out for design, right? Because that's what kills you in price is when you have to have them design shit, too. It's like, holy fuck.
Yep.
It triples the price.
Steve and her, and they hit it out of the park every time. So
Thanks.
Nice.
And I like how it's not just another black band shirt. You guys are doing white shirts, which is something a little bit different. I know before Earl, you and I had a talk. You want to do something like fluorescent colors just to stand out.
Yeah, just some goofy fun, you know.
That's what I want to do. I like bright colors. There you go.
I mean, there's a point to having black merch, but you know, after like all of us being in bands, we all have that, and going to every concert, and every band's got the stereotypical black
in our
shirt.
closets. I know we tried that too. We tried green and purple, and we're still sitting on a couple of them. But you know, it's just I think everybody's drawn to that black shirt. They're like, oh yeah, that's a band shirt. Yeah. But I do like the direction you guys are going with the white, especially with the artwork. It makes it pop off the back.
We were one thing we were looking at a long time ago was like old wrestling T-shirts. They were always like brightly colored, just like the Hulk Hogan T-shirts, the yellow, you know, the purple Macho Man T-shirts, just fun, you know, goofy, colorful stuff.
Right, the old Sting T-shirts, even from WCW, there was all bright
pick them out of the crowd.
Yep.
I think that's, I mean, it falls in line with the point of Tokyo Monsters itself. It's like we, as a band, are trying to do something that no one else is doing, so the shirts fall in line, too. It's like everyone's got a black band T-shirt. That's the norm. Tokyo Monsters is 100% not the norm.
Plus, we don't overthink it. We don't take it that seriously.
Yeah.
There's no big discussion. It's just like,
every band practice is just about T-shirts.
You guys just want to do white T-shirts?
It's just,
No. I think it should be beige.
You know, the next one, you guys want to do baby blue T-shirts? All right, whatever. You know,
I would like a mint color T-shirt, like a nice mint julep
like
color.
Shamrock Shake.
Yes, exactly.
I'm down for that.
That would look good.
Yeah. And then you just saw band discussion.
There you go. That was it. It's done.
I'm cool with that.
That's about how long they take.
Nice. Gotta love that.
Yeah, and honestly, releasing singles, we can release more often, and it's honestly less expensive. You know, we can release a song once every 2 months and pay a fraction of the price instead of, you know, paying out the ass, giving you all this music that most people aren't going to care about. It's like Joe said, it's
people
too
don't
much.
have the time to listen to it all.
Right. Yeah, that's why we did our album. Our album, I think, clocks in at just over 36 minutes for 9 tracks.
So it's
you know, we
perfect.
wanted to
Pop
keep
it in the car. You get to hear everything.
Right, you know, or at least you hear most of the album on like your drive to work or something. So I'm glad we tried to keep it a little on the shorter end. Plus, eventually I want to put it on vinyl, and that obviously limits your run time. So, but
it's really not that expensive a process, though. I think it's like maybe $15 a vinyl.
Yeah, it depends on what company you go through. I've been checking out a lot of them. It varies anywhere between like 15 and some of them are crazy expensive. They want like $55 fucking for a copy. It's like, yeah, no. First off, we're not that big. Nobody's paying.
You'd be surprised. On people, if you put that out your merch table, somebody would buy it.
Okay.
But so, you guys, like you were saying, you're taking more the approach of releasing singles as opposed to full albums and everything. Now, obviously, I agree with you that it gives you the ability to release more frequently at a lower cost. I've talked to other people about the album versus the single, and some people were even trying to deter us from putting out, they're like, no, you should really go for singles. That's what people are buying nowadays. They're not doing the full albums. How do you guys feel about that?
Well, we just don't, and we just give everything away for free.
Nah.
I mean, yeah, we give away the music. The thing, too, it lets us give away music, and the biggest thing, like, the biggest principle is just do you.
Mm-hmm.
If you can afford to do an album, you want to do an album, do an album.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Know? For us, we just like, I don't even like calling them singles. We're just releasing our music in increments, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
And it's mostly just because that's what we have the means to do, you know?
We'll come down the road and we'll be like, all right, let's write a CD. Let's get a whole 9 to 11 song thing going, and then we'll sell it.
All right.
But for now, we're content with releasing singles.
Hey, if that's what really matters, you're happy with it, you're content, then fuck all else. You know?
There's not really like a philosophy, or it's just what we can do right now.
You get to pick out of the batch of songs which ones you're feeling the most at the time, and those go to the recording.
Now, where do you guys record at? Do you do all in-house? Do you go somewhere to record?
So our friend Tyler Katerina,
Okay.
so he does all our recording for us.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug.
Shout out.
He's played in bands throughout the area.
So he drummed for Surrender Reality briefly.
Okay.
So he's always doing something. He's a phenomenal musician. He can play like everything.
I
He's
love
like
those.
He's one of those guys who like don't even listen to music because he's like mastered everything. So his thing he enjoys doing like the recording, and he's fantastic at it. So we always try to go to him.
Nice. Now, where is he located at?
Pretty close. He's right in the area, right in LaSalle.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. He's mastered everything.
It's true. The dude can juggle and like ride a unicycle.
Yeah.
Like he was capable of doing that at like the age of like probably 8 years old.
He records everything on a unicycle, like it's.
Yeah, I mean, even the
Plays the drums on the unicycle.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Kick drum and all.
Yep. Double bass, everything.
Nice.
Okay. You're right. Fuck it, I'm just setting everything I on fire then. I feel like that's become a theme for the past couple of episodes.
It really has.
We get Jamie Holka, it's like, fuck it, I'm
Yeah.
done.
They're
I'm done.
exceptionally gifted individuals.
Yeah. Scarecrow show, it's like, no, that's it, I don't know why I even fucking try. So musically, where could you guys all start off at? Where could each individual originate from? What made you pick up the fucking instrument? What made you gravitate towards doing this?
I don't know.
Earl was just born into it. It just happened. It just fucking happened for him.
Earl was
Just
born
woke
with a
up one
bass
day
in
and he
his
was
hand.
just a bass player. Like,
Yeah.
That's how it happens.
That's
Bass.
usually how bass players are hatched.
Mhm.
Because we're hatched, we're not born.
Yeah.
We just come out with a bass.
Doctor looked at Becky and went, "You got a bass player."
Yep.
You guys know my mom.
Woo! Yeah.
You want an actual answer?
Yeah,
Yes.
tell us.
I started playing bass because my brother played guitar, so I got a bass. It's as
All right.
simple as that. I mean, and then just started playing music.
Cool.
We all started playing, S3 started playing at the same time together, years and years ago. Circle of life.
Right.
Elton John.
my answer is always the same to this question, and it's I went and saw Green Day live, and I saw Billy Joe going crazy, and I was like, that's it. That's what I want to do. I want to do it. Especially when he fucking mooned me. I was like, and everyone cheered. They didn't call the cops for public lewdness, or just everyone cheered. And I'm like, I want to be that cool that I show my ass and people cheer.
JD
That
Powell
was it right
Award.
there.
There was a JD Power Award ass. I mean,
That was his motivation. I want to be able to show my bare ass in public and nobody gets mad.
and people go crazy, and people throw a bra on stage. Like, what? That's awesome. No, it was awesome. That show was awesome, and it was like, looks like a lot of fun. I want to do that.
All right.
He's got a lot of energy, and he puts on a great show.
Cool.
Which we were like all at. Weren't you at that show too?
No.
No, you. It's like the more in life like I go on and find out like almost everyone I've ever talked to was just like, yeah, I was at that Green Day show in 2005 when they played at HSBC at the time. I think it was. And it's just like you just like talk to random people and they're just like, yeah, I was at that show. It's like, wow, we were all just at that show but had no idea.
Nice. I don't think I've ever seen Green Day live.
I don't
I don't think they've ever seen you play either, though, so it's okay.
Probably right.
Well, I do remember the last show, Billy Joe walked in and it was like, nope, fuck this, and walked out.
Fuck these assholes. That's it.
Was there, didn't see us, but was there.
Okay.
Don't fact check any of this ever, please.
Please.
Please don't. Just don't look it up. Don't go online. Don't even watch the show.
Shameless anti-plug.
Right?
Yeah, sure. I mean, definitely shameless. That's without saying with me, but still.
So are we talking the TV show? Because I haven't seen the newest season, so don't spoil it.
Hey, Joe, how did you get started playing guitar?
Great question, Earl.
Well, I was always like raised on the Beatles and Queen, and those like just loving music from a young age. But I could never really play anything. So right around the time we started going to see concerts, I was just like, well, I'm willing to give it a try.
Mm-hmm.
And I was super into AC/DC and like the old school rock bands.
Hell yeah.
And that's what made me want to play. And now it's like some newer bands are the reason that I keep playing.
Okay. Any reason the newer bands keep you motivated? Is it like what's there that keeps you going with that?
Well, I like the more like technical stuff on like the West Coast and like the California scene where you have like Dance Gavin Dance,
Okay.
Hail the Sun, and Stolus. They're doing a lot of like the more technical post-punk kind of music, and it's kind of like it's always innovating like on itself.
Okay.
So it's always kind of like bringing things up to like a new standard.
All right. Nice.
AC/DC gets old after like 15 years.
Yes.
Oh, you know, it's not that it's bad. It's just
It will always be classic, but you can only listen to it so much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I agree.
like you ever like listen to the radio and like Chili Peppers come on and like you just turned it off.
Yeah. No.
Even the station, even
It's-
though like it's nothing against them.
Right.
Just, you've heard it.
We've heard it too many times.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I've been under the bridge way too many times. Done. I don't want to go under the bridge anymore.
Yeah.
Nate, what made you gravitate towards drums?
That's a good question. Very long answer. Back in 1795. No, we're not doing that again. My parents are both musicians. My father's that's not his primary career path, but he's played trumpet for I think since high school, and my mom plays piano on the side. So when I was young, they got me and all my siblings into some kind of instrument. We all started with piano, but I think at some point I wanted to branch out, and they asked me what I wanted to do, and I started playing drums at a pretty young age. So, I don't know, since I was like 10 or 11, I think is when I first started. Although I didn't get my first drum kit until I was 16 after my first job in order to afford a drum set.
Yeah.
Which is now in our practice space in one shape or another, but long road spending your entire summer paychecks on a shitty drum set just so you can play the damn thing.
Right. Hey, whatever. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Nice. Now, did everybody here take lessons, or did you just kind of self-teach and figure things out as you went?
Are we doing this in a row again?
Sure.
Everybody start talking all at once. Go.
What?
I took lessons at a church for a couple of years. As far as I played in the church band, and I got lessons, and I did that I played in the church band all through high school, I think, pretty much.
Really?
That was kind of cool. And the pastor started like wrestling with me and stuff, and it started getting weird, so I had to dip out of that.
Next.
Okay, so Steve.
It was all just YouTube. It was just YouTube and figuring out how to read tabs.
Okay.
Yeah. Same, basically, just listen to what's on the recording and try to do what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I think I started with drum lessons for a while and fell off the map. I mean, I played percussion in middle school and high school, so I had some lessons with that, but not so much a drum set. So most of the drum set is self-taught for the most part for me.
Cool.
I started playing in a church band, and
And I got molested, and
One time at band.
I did.
One time at church band,
I didn't almost get molested.
Wait.
they wrestled.
Oh my god.
right, there was a full Nelson involved.
It's back in those days.
Oh, did they at least use lube?
It was for some kind of belt.
We're normally not like this.
Welcome to the Nick and Dan Show, where we make light of child molestation.
We don't.
Yeah, let's edit that out too.
No way, I'm keeping that in.
Oh Jesus.
We're gonna get
Like-
crucified.
I am. The whole, whatever.
We're all here, man.
All right.
Justified by association.
I do not represent the feelings of anybody else. Period. Just period.
There you go.
Oh, let's hope my wife never watches this show ever.
She won't.
You're right, she won't. I have something to do with it. She's like, no, absolutely not.
Right.
I deal with you at home. Fuck.
So, what does the future hold for Tokyo Monsters? You guys want to ride it as far as you can ride it? Just having fun for now? What's going on with that?
More JD Power Awards would be nice.
Make it an even 20?
Why stop there?
I was to say, why is it so low?
I want all the JD Power Awards.
Every one of them.
Every JD Power Award.
Even the ones that have previously been handed out?
Yes.
I don't know.
We're,
Yeah.
we're taking them all back.
Taking them all back.
An answer to that question would be, we'll see.
Yeah, for now we're
I don't know.
just having fun. We're going out. We're playing shows.
See what comes of it.
We're trying not to make it into a job.
Right.
We're trying to do it
We're trying to take
because we want to do it,
Yeah.
not because we feel obligated to play.
Yeah, we don't want to get too serious with it, because you start caring about all the wrong things at that point,
Yeah.
I think.
Right. Now, for show-wise, how do you guys like to space your shows out? Because I know some bands are all about every week we got to be out playing. Other bands are more of a 2-3 times a year, make it a real special big event. Where do you guys fall in the realm of that? How do you like to book
Well,
shows?
I mean, most of it comes from experience. We've all been playing for long enough to where we've done it every which way you can do it. We've done it to where you play sparsely. We've done it to where you're playing 3 times or more a month. And collectively, playing more times a month is just not something we're willing to do. It's just too much, and it's harder to bring out like more and more people when your shows are like multiple times a month. So we're more in the realm of keep it maybe once a month, twice a month if it's like an exceptional show,
Okay.
and try to make it like a very intimate, special thing when we do it.
Nice.
I mean, it's about the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
It really just all depends.
Yeah, I mean,
You know.
if there was demand and people wanted to see us like every other week,
Mhm.
I think we might be willing to play a bit more. But for now, we're
We're
more
new
than
kids
happy.
on the block.
Yeah, we're new kids.
Yeah.
And
Plus,
plus,
that demand's not there.
plus, we're not traveling, so if we're just playing Buffalo and Niagara Falls, there's no point to be showing our faces every weekend.
Right, 'cause
Yeah.
people get sick of it. That and, oh, dude, I know you got a show in 2 weeks. I'll just make it to that one.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then 2 weeks later, I'll make it to the next one.
Yeah. Yeah, so it becomes a real.
I mean, if you want to play every weekend, that's what the cover game's for. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a whole other like hobby in and of itself, where it's like if you enjoy playing out that much, like it's your prerogative to do so.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I like playing out, but at the same time, at that point, it becomes a job almost.
Yeah.
You get burnt.
It's like, fuck, all right, we got another show. Okay, what's the set list for that one? There's no room for creating or dicking around and having fun. It's all right to the set, boom, boom, boom. Okay, break, let's run through again, boom, 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 and then your night's over. It's like, all right, I feel like I just did a second fucking shift of work. There's no joy there.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I know that was something that we were starting to run into last year. We had so many fucking shows going on that it got to the point where we finally got a month or two in between. It's like, oh.
It's a great
So
feeling.
you guys want to fuck around on some riffs?
Yeah, and then we
then
ended up writing 2 more.
Yeah, and it just brought all the, because we were all feeling it, we're dragging ass, like, all right, practice night, let's get in. And then that came, it's like, oh, hey, it's practice night. Let's have a couple of beers and just fuck around and see what happens. And it's like, okay, now I remember.
It doesn't feel washed out.
Right, and then it's like, okay, now I remember why we're doing this. It brings all the fun back to it and everything.
Yep.
Down at Dan and Nick's Used Guitar Emporium, you're only going to get the best deals from shrewd negotiators.
So I'll give you 15% off. Because it is vintage, there's a price tag on that of $50. I was going to say 15. 15?
What do you say, 15?
No deal's too
What
good.
about 25?
About 9.
What if I give you 5 and then you give me 10?
Wait, that ain't right.
Thinking it's got 4 strings, so it's worth like $400. We're open from whenever to whenever.
We have hours?
Beer. What?
We have hours?
I think so.
What are they?
Matt.
Numbers. Time of day.
Letters.
I mean, there's an AM or a PM.
Dan and Nick's Used Guitar Emporium, where we don't take it seriously, so why the hell should you? Are you looking for your next amplifier? Are you trying to redefine your sound? Do you need that piece of equipment to complement your amazing guitar playing? Well, look no further. Bison Electronics has what you need. Look up Bison Electronics online. Handmade from the ground up in Buffalo, New York. Are you looking for a place to drop anchor and have a cold one? Come on down to the River Pub, where the drinks are cheap and the atmosphere is good. 6004 Buffalo Avenue, Niagara Falls, New York, where you can hang out inside or enjoy the atmosphere outside on the patio. But also, if you're not just satisfied with a drink, you can grab some grub at the pub, right next door at Submariners.
We pride ourselves with amazing quality products with generous portions.
So whether you're looking for food or a drink, follow them on Facebook at the River Pub Niagara, or you can also check out Submariners LaSalle Deli. Stop on in, the River Pub or Submariners, 6004 Buffalo Avenue, Niagara Falls, New York. See you down at the pub. Do you want to see Tokyo Monsters coming up live? Well, you can, and your opportunity is August 24th in Nietzsche's, 248 Allen Street, Buffalo, New York, 14201. Catch our boys, Tokyo Monsters, along with Kurt Riley, The Feast, and Church Key Social. Friday, August 24th, starting at 10 p.m. See Tokyo Monsters tear it up on stage at Nietzsche's in Buffalo for $5. You can't beat that. Go out and see Tokyo Monsters live August 24th in Nietzsche's at 248 Allen Street, Buffalo, New York.
I don't think there's like a wrong answer. Again, just do you. You know?
Right.
For us, it's
We love
first
to write songs.
Yeah, we love writing. That's
Oh, yeah.
why we have, 18 songs. We keep writing. It's kind of becoming an issue.
We can't record them fast enough, and we keep writing more.
Right.
I mean, and wherever the schedule ends up becoming or whatever happens, first and foremost, are we enjoying this?
Mm-hmm.
Are we getting enough out of this creatively? That's
And the answer is yes.
Now, speaking of a set list and hashing out set lists, are you one of those bands that, okay, so we're going to play this song, this song, this song, or do you just leave it all to chance, go up on stage, and pick from what the crowd's feeling?
Well, the way we've done for this project, is you want to build it like sort of like play. So that way you have like bands that fit the mood and like their specific placement in the set is where it's supposed to be, and it's kind of like locked to that spot. So you have like kind of like beginning, middle, and end, and like those specific songs will always be there,
right,
in those specific portions of the set. So you can just have like a very dynamic sounding set. So where like the audience sort of gets taken on a trip with you.
Mm-hmm. Now, when it comes to structuring a set, I know, like me personally, I like to start off full energy, really get the crowd brought up, and then in the middle, bring it down into a little bit of a lull, and then bring them back up as you reach into the end of the set, like bring that energy back. Now, how you guys like to approach structuring? Because I know some bands, they just want it balls to the wall the entire fucking time. Others, they like intersperse slow throughout their set. Is there a certain way you like to approach where you place the songs, or?
I mean, it's good, like you said, to like come out with a lot of energy and have the audience sort of gravitate toward the stage, be like, okay, I like where this is going, and then you sort of like you bridge on that into like your more catchier songs that are made for like crowd participation.
Right.
And then you get to do some more like technical jamming, kind of free-flowing stuff in the middle of the set. And then by the end, like the more like dramatic, like heavier hitting songs start to come out. And then you reach your conclusion, and then that's the end of your set.
Okay. So when are we going to get the 20-minute drum solo? Followed by the 15-minute bass solo. We're waiting.
When they get a new bass player?
I've been saying for months I just want to write songs full of blast beats, but you can't get everything.
Here's in my honest opinion, like it's just nobody cares. Nobody wants to hear
right.
a drum solo.
We're not in that era anymore. That's the thing. I mean, I love when I see an old band do it, but it's just not. It's not a thing anymore.
You're leaving during the drum solo to go get another beer.
Yeah.
You're not hanging out.
Yeah.
Like there's outlets for that. Like there's a whole like jam band scene, and like those people are going out to see that kind of stuff. Say we're not in that genre.
Yeah, it's something we're not really doing, so there's no point for us to do it really.
I mean, you could be. Remember, we aren't limiting ourselves. Whatever happens to come out, you could be eventually.
I mean, what's cool with what we're doing though is when it comes to drums, I'd like to think that there is. Even though we're not doing 15, 20-minute solos, there is no rule on how just out there and goofy and just cool the drums can be. I mean, it's cool because we just let Nathan do whatever the hell he wants, and it goes
yeah, the blast beats are usually off limit. I just kind of fuck around with those. I think typically when it comes to writing drums, is to kind of go a little bit nuts, and as I learned more of the intricacies of the song, I kind of start dialing it back and kind of dumbing it down to where it's a comfortable amount of whatever it is I'm doing. Because again, you think we're not writing songs to be super crazy or to have all these crazy drum fills and solos in them. So it's, what fits the song at that point?
Okay.
But when you listen to us, you wouldn't think that was the case. Nathan is something else.
He's one of those highly gifted individuals we spoke about earlier.
I mean, the four of you are highly gifted, and together what comes out as Tokyo Monsters is just fantastic.
You guys are okay, too.
Oh.
Yeah. Quit harassing the hosts.
Well, listen, at least I've learned how to play my guitar. I'm okay now.
I mean, a lot of us take a certain amount of input when the creative process for writing a song, like, if we're talking about structure, guitar parts, bass parts, even drum parts, we're like, oh, why don't, anybody has say in anything, so we'll say, like, oh, you want to try this part for this, or, Nate, you're playing drums for this part, why don't you try and see what this sounds like? So we're all kind of open to that certain amount of criticism and trying to change things up and see how things sound, so I think that definitely helps to come across how everything just kind of flows so smoothly.
I think the biggest part of it is we do it. I think more bands need to do it. Is we try to write as a group. It's just more fun that way, It's
right. And it makes the songs it makes them yours as opposed to just one member's.
And it doesn't make it so that somebody feels left out. So someone's like, I don't get asked my opinion, or I'm not important. It's, I don't know. people take shit way too seriously
Oh, yeah.
sometimes, you know?
Agreed.
Now, when it comes to that writing process, how does that normally start? Does it start with a riff? Does it start with a hook on a lyric side?
Just depends.
It just
Depends on the
really
song.
depends.
Yeah.
It starts how it starts, and it
Okay.
ends how it ends. It just depends.
Right.
It might be something that's done in half an hour.
Mhm.
It might take a couple days. It just depends, you know?
That's how it should be.
There is no rule.
Let
There is
the music
no,
evolve how it's
Yeah.
going to evolve.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't come out right, so we have to like keep reworking them until we're satisfied.
Yep.
Mhm.
Now, for lyrics, do you typically have, because I know some people, they've got just notebook after notebook of lyrics, and they'll come
I'm
up
not
with
one
the
of those people.
No? Okay. So you kind of come up with them as do you find like the vocal melody, and then from there you try and find what fits as far as the words?
Yeah, I would say that. It's like I spend most of my time writing the lyrics in the car. So
Okay.
if I'm not like, I'll sit in silence on my drives and just map the songs out in my head and try to think what I would want, how I would like it to sound, and if subject matter like comes up, then it does.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Different approach. I like it. I like it a lot. Sitting in silence. I like silence. I don't get a lot of it.
Sorry, buddy.
No.
That's why I bought a van without a radio.
That's why you bought the van without the radio.
Yep.
It's not because you live a block from us from a middle school or anything.
No.
The biggest thing is I think you can't overthink.
Getting into dark water again.
I just think you can't overthink that kind of stuff. Just, you have to let that kind of stuff just naturally happen, however it happens, you know?
If you're ever in the shower, like sometimes that stuff will come to you and you're just like, oh, that's a great idea.
Yep. Or like just this little lyric pops in your head like,
And then
that's
you have to
it.
You have to keep saying it to yourself, and you have to immediately go write it down.
Yep.
You're just like I've lost plenty of them too.
Oh yeah.
Or when
No,
you're lying in bed. That's probably the part.
I've never had that. Like when I was
I've had that
lying
with
in
like
bed.
song structures.
That's gotta suck.
You're just lying there, and you're just thinking about it, and you're like, fuck, I gotta write this down or message somebody. Like, fucking 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm laying in bed thinking about, like, a part.
Yeah. It always freaks me out when people are like, all right, so I gotta get this many syllables and this, and like they make it like a mathematical equation. It's like, where's the fun in
Some people
that?
have a lot of fun doing that. So
I guess I just don't. I mean, it's just not for me. I guess.
truthfully, I wish I could be one of those lyricists that have like tons and tons of notebooks and they're always like doing something, but I can't. I don't work that way.
I mean, I've got notebooks of lyrics, but usually I more so use them when we're coming up with a song, I'll be maybe stuck at one point where for some reason I just can't think of a cadence or a melody, so I'll just flip through the notebook to see if I can find maybe even not the words, but the structure of the sentence where I'm like, that's where I want to go with this. Maybe even like, the words don't fit, but the cadence is there that I want. And then I'll kind of take it up from there. But usually I just kind of write them on the fly for the most part. Like we'll write the music, I'll start humming noises that kind of sound like words or whatever, and then the words start to fall into place from there.
You do sort of like a jazz scat type of thing.
Yeah, more or less. You know, there's sounds, they kind of sound like words. Maybe there's one real word in there, and the rest is...
It's a good place to start.
It is. That's the way that's always kind of worked for me. But I know everybody's different. That's why I like talking to other writers and seeing how does the process come together for you. So for you, it's just kind of like you kind of map it out, or something randomly pops in. I like that. I like it a lot. Very cool. So food. I always like to talk about food.
Ooh,
why not?
Right, exactly. Why not?
Do you?
I do. Any favorite eats? Any places you guys like to go for food around here?
Chipotle. We're taking all endorsements.
Now, does Chipotle accept J.D. Power awards for payment of food?
They will after we're done with them.
Working, actually.
I hope so.
Everyone so far has turned it down, but I know one day there's going to be.
Well,
that
one day I
person.
think you guys are just going to approach Chipotle headquarters with this box of J.D. Power Associate Awards and be like, I'm buying the company with these now. This is mine.
Yeah, this is all mine now. Everything the light touches is ours.
Yep.
Lion King
How many
says.
burritos can I get for one of these?
Bringing it back to the the goods trades, no money. It's you
Mhm.
trade.
A bartering system.
A bartering
Power
Barter
rewards
system.
for power burritos.
There we go. Sounds like a song title to me.
Yeah, we do have some very silly song titles, especially the working titles.
Working titles are what we live for.
So then they end up becoming the real life.
Yeah, but then we're lazy and we don't make up for a real name, and that's just what they're called.
So most people don't know what they're. I mean, we only have 4 songs right now, so most people don't know better. So whatever, they'll find out eventually.
Right. That's great. So you guys kind of take it. You guys have fun with it then, with working titles. That's cool.
It doesn't matter.
Right?
You don't have to
We
take
don't-
it that serious.
No.
Until they're printed and they're on recordings, they could be whatever you want them to be.
Yeah.
Even if they were, it'd still be like, let's do something stupid. Why not?
It's a refreshing approach to see how lax you guys are about the whole thing, because there's, we've all been in the business for a while. There's people that are, okay, well, you have to wake up at this time, and we're playing from this time to this time, and then we're going to take a break, we're going to shower and shit and eat, and then we got to come back at this and this and this.
Mm-hmm.
And like it takes the fun right out of it.
Yep.
And it almost kind of stifles your creative approach, too.
Mm-hmm.
So to see how lax you guys are and how creative you guys can be in such a short time together. I mean, I know you guys have had the working relationships with each other since you were young, but just the short time frame that this band has been in existence is nice to see.
I do enjoy what you do.
Thank you.
Try to keep it off rails as much as we can and enjoy our Tuesday evenings.
Controlled chaos is
Yeah.
the spin I like to put on it.
I just think a lot of people, a lot of musicians, they make things seem way more important than they need to seem.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that
It's not life or death.
it's not. And there is no formula or answer to what you got to do. As long as you're enjoying it,
Yeah. And it's what you
whatever
like.
else happens, whatever else you do, just,
Right, like people get so serious. Like when I've talked to people about like our band name, like X and Priory. Okay, so we picked the name that barely anybody can fucking pronounce most of the time. No one knows where it comes from. You're like, you really need to get something that's more marketable so people can pronounce it. No, we don't. Why do I have to think about it that much? We like it. It sounds nifty. I don't fucking care. It's not. Nobody's gonna die over it. Why do we have to be so serious about shit?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sounds
Yeah.
exotic.
As a creator, you're always making the answers to your own questions.
Yeah.
And it's not up to anyone else.
Exactly. And that's just how it's gonna be. I like it, so that's where we're gonna go with it. And like you guys like what you're doing, and fuck off if other people aren't into it. Then it obviously wasn't meant for them. So go look elsewhere.
Lots of bands in the world.
Right. There's plenty out there, and with like the internet, you can really get into some serious subgenres where
Oh yeah.
and now what do you guys think as far as the internet, the availability of information, the ability for somebody to, I mean, we all grew up in an era where you pretty much had what was presented on the radio and state or show or TV stations like MTV, VH1. The internet really, or at least when I was even growing up, the internet really wasn't as big of a thing yet, where you could just sit there and fine tune to this hardcore subgenre that's specifically suited to your needs.
Yeah.
How do you guys think that has impacted your typical music goer, the person that might go out to shows or seek out music? Do you think that's prevented them from seeking other new things, or, I mean, how do you think it's impacted the music industry?
I don't know.
I'd say it's a good and a bad thing. I mean, it's good because people can have the availability of finding so much more music, but you could say it's also a bad thing because now there's way more than people can handle. You can only absorb so much. So people can either find something very obscure, but then, they have so much that they find online, or for like your average music listener, they just stream whatever they want on Spotify, and they're just like, oh yeah, I'm happy with this. I don't need to see it live, and they don't care. But, I mean, yes, I think it's good and bad, really.
Right. Okay. Yeah, everything's going to have its pros and cons. So.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different platforms, and so it just makes it kind of difficult to decide what are we going to use, what's going to be our, but I think it's great because you can come get our music for free online, you know.
Right. I mean, I do like that as opposed to the days of, standing out in front of shows with just sampler, cassettes or CDs. Like, hey, just check out this 2-track CD I've got of my band. You could just throw it up online, and it's there. If people want it, they can snag it.
It doesn't really cost you anything to like throw it up online versus it's going to cost you money to burn CDs. And shit ain't cheap after a while.
I still think there's a need to be giving out physical copies of music.
For sure.
Absolutely.
You hand it out at a show, people are going to put that in on the drive home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then they're going to throw it out, never listen to it again. But they're going to put it in their car. They're going to, I do it. Somebody gives me their EP or CD. I'm putting it in the car on the way home.
And then he's throwing it out when he's done with it.
Using it to target practice.
Just kidding.
No, I think
recycle.
I think you're on the right track. Like our generation, and even the generation just below us, is used to the physical product. It's the newer generations now with that are heavy into social media and heavy into technology that have that instantaneous need for things, and I think that's where that kind of platform comes from. Your iPod, your instant downloads, your Spotify, things like that. But I think there's still a need for both if you want to cater to both audiences. You have
for sure.
physical copies for old hats, and then you have the newer instantaneous technology for the younger generations.
Yep.
Well, then just the FaceTime even, walking, hey, dude, check out my band, what are you into? I think you really might like this.
Yep.
Just that quick little conversation at FaceTime does mean a lot to people still, too, regardless of what age or generation they might be from, where it kind of solidifies that moment and that music a little bit more with them.
That person-to-person interaction.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see that as much anymore.
Well, what's crazy is you can, even though that's important, you can do that with people on the internet now that you would never, ever meet.
Right.
Somebody that lives in Rochester I would never walk into that I might be able to send a message to you, man.
Exactly.
Right. It definitely does open up a lot of avenues that weren't available back in the day. And like, unless you were traveling from city to city to city and really talking to everybody you run into, you were pretty much stuck with your local crowd, your local scene.
And now it's a lot easier because it puts, I think, more tools in our hands. I don't have to rely on somebody else to get me shows in Rochester and Syracuse and in New York City. I can do that myself.
Yeah.
I don't have to pay somebody to work for me.
And it is so much easier now. I mean, record labels, I don't know what you guys, but me, record labels are...
They're dead.
Yeah, they're dead. They're null and void. You don't need them anymore. Like you just said, Earl, you can go online, find people in the Rochester area, book shows out there. You can look up places down in New York City, book shows down there. You don't need a booking agent. You don't need managers and all this bullshit anymore like you used to back in the day because you didn't have those far-reaching contacts.
Yeah.
Now it's all right there at the click of a mouse, which is pretty cool. I'm still getting used to trying to utilize it. Now, for social media, is there any platform that you guys tend to prefer as far as, interacting with people or just goofing around on?
I love MySpace.
MySpace
is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I got my MySpace linked to my old GeoCities website.
You guys on MySpace, or have you guys heard about it?
Yeah,
I've
I've
never
heard of it. I haven't had one yet.
So what theme do you have on your page right now?
It's like a matrix letters thing that goes down.
I think honestly, I think MySpace actually got rid of all of that, and now it's actually become more of a music platform. Like, I know Earl was just making like a joke and everything, but MySpace itself has actually become more of a music platform now. Like, if you've actually been on it lately.
Well, didn't Justin Timberlake buy it, if I remember right?
I think it was.
Or he's a heavy investor in it now.
Because I think that's what they intentionally, when they made MySpace, that's intentionally what they went for. They wanted it for music. And then it just kind of became like the cool thing that teens did.
Right.
And then they took over, and then Facebook killed it. But now it's like, if you go back to MySpace, it's like very focused on like music. Like the music players on it are all great and everything. It's very refocus. So I wouldn't be surprised in the next 5 to 7 years to see MySpace actually become
That being said,
Heard it here first.
relevant again, right?
I don't.
We heard it here first.
That's right.
Like a Spotify type thing, like MySpace might actually
That might come back.
become a thing again.
Provided the internet still exists.
Yeah, right.
I was gonna say I don't
Well,
think
net
we have a
neutrality.
MySpace page though. After all of that said and done.
I'm
Well-
on, I'm on
But
AIM.
the answer to the question is,
Okay, they killed that.
If you want to have more of the Nick and Dan Show weekly, be sure to check them out on YouTube at XM Priory. EXHAMPRIORY. Tuesdays every week. This is Nick here from Dan and Nick's Used Guitar Emporium. Not heard about us yet? Well, you now have. Come on down where you can find yourself some expertise advice on used musical equipment. The best in industry knowledge.
They'll read pre-scratched on the back, too. New strings now. Basses don't need to be restrung.
True professionals at what we do.
In this very rare no-string guitar, I thought the amps were meant for holding beers. That's where it's caught on fire. It's got character, not black.
Come on down. Dan and Nick's Used Guitar Emporium. You want to see Tokyo Monsters coming up live? Well, you can, and your opportunity is August 24th at Nietzsche's, 248 Allen Street, Buffalo, New York, 14201. Catch our boys, Tokyo Monsters, along with Kurt Riley, The Feast, and Church Key Social. Friday, August 24th, starting at 10 p.m. See Tokyo Monsters tear it up on stage at Nietzsche's in Buffalo for $5. You can't beat that. Go out and see Tokyo Monsters live August 24th at Nietzsche's at 248 Allen Street, Buffalo, New York.
Well, hey there. Do you like knobs to twist? Do you like buttons? I know I like buttons. Come on down to Dan and Nick's Used Guitar Emporium, where we have more than just used guitars. We've also got these things.
What the hell is that?
Well, this here is what's known as a mix-em-a-bobber. It's got some sliders, that's fancy, knobs, lots of knobs, even some buttons. You can push them. They do things. Now, this model right here, it's got at least, I don't know, Dan, what would you say right there? That's about 500 knobs, I think.
I think it's got about 500 jizmy dudes.
Easily. Plus, there's doodads on the back.
Holy
You
doodad.
can plug shit into that.
Wow.
So, this right here, I'm willing to say that we'd be willing to let this go to you guys out there in the guitar and music world for, I don't know. I think that $700 is a fair price for this. And that's a steal. You don't even want to know what we had to pay for this. Really. You don't want to know. Come on down to Dan and Nick's Used Guitar Emporium. We've got more than just guitars. Remember, no more, hashtag, no more than four. I know we want to talk to you guys about when we come back around to the falls, doing it up at the Star. I figure there's three of us, you guys, us, and Inherent Vice.
Just put us on all your shows. We will play them all. Just put us on your shows.
Please.
We're looking for spring, summer shows. We don't suck.
You don't suck, that is
I
true.
mean,
What more could you ask for?
Right. I mean, right now, we've got those
Stop
planned.
that tune.
We are looking to try and book, I think we want to try and book a few more. Then also, we want to try and focus on starting the spiral outward. You know, getting out to Olean, Rochester, Albany. We've got things lined up where we're going to be trying to go down to Long Island in October. So starting to branch out and spread the word of the rad a little bit.
spread the gospel.
That's right, spread the gospel. But that's our game plan for right now, is to start to build the fan base a little bit more and experience some new music scenes as opposed to just. I mean, I love the local music scene, but you can only play in front of the same crowd so long before you got to try and branch out a little bit and find some new people, find, just new bands and everything to play with too. I always like finding new bands to catch up with. I mean, I use it as a learning experience. I always sit there and I'll watch, the guitarist or the bass player and see what they're doing just to try and learn something new. I know, like we were talking about Jamie Holka the other day, where even he does the same thing. He likes watching other musicians and seeing, trying to find something new to learn. Like, fuck you with your goddamn hammer-ons and taps. I'm like, God damn it. And I actually, since I've been watching you play, I've actually been fucking around with it at home and everything, just trying to.
How does he play that one part?
Right, just trying to make myself better. Yeah. I like the thought that I'm never done learning. I'm never a true master of my craft or anything. I always want to be a student.
Who's your favorite guitar player?
Oh God, my favorite guitar player.
There's got to be one that you like more than anything.
Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix. He's mine.
Joe Baldwin.
Shut up.
Jimi Hendrix is. If I had to pick one guitarist, it'd be Hendrix right up at the top for sure.
Mm-hmm. Why?
He was different. He in a way redefined how the instrument was played, but he did it with such style almost. You could tell he was enjoying it. Except, those later years, yeah, you could tell he wasn't into as much anymore either because he became so jaded or the drugs, whatever. But just his approach. I always loved the one quote of his: "There's no such thing as a wrong note. You just gotta bend it a little bit more." I always thought that was really cool. He was a guy that just experimented. He didn't believe in boundaries. He took blues to a whole new level. Because what he was doing, if you really look at it, it's blues. Psychedelic blues, obviously, but blues nonetheless. But people equate that with rock and roll and even like the early stages of metal when, that was heavy back then. Plus, he's the reason I picked the guitar up. I saw a video of him at the Isle of Wight. The moment he set that guitar on fire, I remember looking at my mother and saying, I want to do that. I don't know if it was the fire part or the playing guitar part at that moment, but I said I wanted to do that. And, I got them to buy me a cheap fucking used PV and a shit little practice amp. I think they spent like $70 on it, and on the two of them, and I've been doing it ever since. Yeah, be Hendrix right at the top. Below that, Tony Iommi from Sabbath.
Those are solid picks.
How about you?
What about you? Yeah.
I was gonna ask you next.
We're going this way, I guess.
All right.
Favorite guitar player or favorite bass player?
Either or. Your favorite performer of any instrument.
I'm gonna have to go with Dimebag Darrell.
God damn it.
Only, he was a phenomenal guitar player. Was he the greatest? No. But what he did was so solid and tight that it kind of redefined how you could almost play a guitar.
Like the Hendrix of his era.
In his own right, with his pinched harmonics and just even the way he tuned. Like, he was never tuned to a solid standard E. He was a quarter note sharp or a quarter note flat. And even something as simple as that to just, okay, well, I'm going to take this tuning and just not drop D, just a little flat, just to give it a little extra spice. And what he did was just tight as shit.
Yeah.
Favorite bass player? On a technical standpoint, I'm going to have to go with Victor Wooten. On a showmanship standpoint, that fucker right there.
Hey! There you go.
J.D. Powell Award.
Right.
Put another one in the bank, J.D. Powell.
Another one in the bag.
Right. What are we up to now? 21, 22?
Who keeps track
Can we
anymore?
put that on
Right.
a shirt or something? Like
What are
fucking
numbers?
Tokyo Monsters JD Power Award? Can we make that into the next shirt?
It's already on
It's
the
right.
tray.
Yeah, it's already been ordered, dude. Sorry.
All right.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
J.D. Powell.
All right, Nate, how about you?
Favorite guitar player? I got a couple floating around, but to be honest, it's probably Angus Young, because that's the reason I picked up guitar. After I started playing drums, a year after that I started playing bass, and I suck at most of those things. But, fucking my brother got me into AC/DC, and I hated it at first. probably because he listened to it, and then I eventually got into it. I was like, oh yeah, I saw like live DVD in 92 of them playing Donington and playing Thunderstruck, and I was like, fuck, I want a guitar. So I spent like the next several months just like not knowing chords, just trying to learn the songs, like basic root notes. But it's, yeah, I mean, drummer is hands down no question. It's the drummer for Periphery, Matt Halpern.
Okay.
He's basically my idol. My next piece of gear is his signature snare drum. The guy's fucking crazy.
Okay. Nice.
I talk about that almost every week in practice, honestly. Earl and I are going back and forth about, oh, we're going to get this next, and this next, and this next, and these two are just like, shut the fuck up already. I'm like, I can't keep saying this around my fiance. She's going to kill me at one of these points. I can't keep saying I want the same snare drum that costs more money than she thinks I should spend.
Oh, yeah. Yep. I know the struggle, man.
Moving on.
Oh. All right, yeah. Joe, how about you?
Favorite guitar player is probably Steve Vai.
Okay. Any reason why Steve Vai is your top pick?
Well, when I first discovered Eddie Van Halen, people said there was someone like him, but much better.
That's a true story.
And started to see like the clips of like David Lee Roth band, and I was like, oh, well, that's that guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then he makes solo stuff, so we'll check that out. And you're just like, wow. In showmanship, musicianship, and like technical prowess, he's better on all accounts.
Okay, solid answer. Like it. All right. Anybody else as far as tops might go, or is that's it?
So Angus Young, of course.
Okay.
So he's very, very good. And Thomas Eric from a band called The Fall of Troy had a lot to do with how I play.
All right.
That makes sense.
It's like it all makes sense now.
Pieces are coming together.
Yeah, it's kind of a mash of Thomas Eric and Steve Vai.
Okay.
That sounds actually just about right, to be honest with you.
Let's go to the band bio.
Right. Steve, how about you?
I think favorite guitarist is probably Page.
Okay.
I love Jimmy Page. I mean, he's probably the reason I love Les Paul so much. It's just something badass about just seeing somebody play rock and roll off of Les Paul. It's just cool. And Jimmy Page I'm not going to do him any justice explaining why Jimmy Page is amazing. I mean, he speaks for himself, so.
You're not ready.
And then I love Billy Joe's showmanship, and I like Freddie Mercury's showmanship, too.
Oh, hell yeah.
They just knew what to do with a crowd.
Right.
And it just gets you amped up, and, that's...
Yeah, we should do singers on the way back.
Yeah, right?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hey, you're coming up with a great topic.
Yeah, it's definitely Jimmy Page. I remember just putting in, I don't think it was How the West Was Won. It's the other one where it's, blue with, the red rock on it. And it has, the Madison Square Garden live DVD.
Okay.
And he's wearing, the dragon suit.
Song remains the same, right? Is that the one?
I'm not sure, but it's, he was wearing, the dragon suit pants, the big bell bottoms, and the black with, the drag,
That
I
song
just
remains
remember
the same, right?
watching him, and it's just, he's so cool and so talented, and it's just amazing.
Nice. All right. Earl?
Hey.
I don't like music.
I don't listen to music.
I don't listen to music, so...
My favorite guitarist? Probably, James Hetfield.
Okay.
People forget how badass James Hetfield used to be.
He still is, dude.
I mean, he still is.
He's rocking the
you
silver
go back
hair, man.
when you watch, 89, Seattle, watch, some of that old stuff, dude. James Hetfield was just a monster, and the dude can play really well.
He can.
I don't know where he ranks in the scale of, how good he is. He's probably just my favorite. I just think James Hetfield is just a badass. Bass players, probably Cliff Burton.
Okay.
I know that's the real, stereotypical cliche thing to say, but whatever.
Dude, I picked Page. I mean, that's
Cliff
pretty
had-
fucking cliche.
Cliff had something about him, though, on that one, how he fucking
plus-
played. And,
Hey!
yeah. Oh. Zing. All right. We can also check off Metallica fans fucking hating us.
I don't know any of these people. I'm just here for the beer.
Is there a singer you'd like to insult too on the way back?
James Hetfield.
Yeah.
My favorite singer? I like James Hetfield.
All right.
Yeah. Meatloaf is pretty badass. Meatloaf is the shit.
Meatloaf is pretty
Meatloaf
badass.
The dinner.
I don't know. What are we doing?
Singer's on the way back.
I don't know.
Hatfield, you already said.
Whatever. Go ahead.
He's like, oh yeah, I did answer. Hetfield.
Freddie,
No.
I like Freddie. Freddie Mercury for sure.
Okay. All right.
Any honorable mentions?
Honorable mentions.
Joe Baldwin.
I don't know. There's a lot of musicians I like, so it's kind of like I hate having to pick favorites, like because I go from listening to like Dance Gavin Dance to Green Day to like Camila Cabello, so it's like and Katy Perry, so it's kind of like everywhere.
So honorable mention Katy Perry.
Katy
There we
Perry,
go.
All right.
she's got a great
down.
rack,
Right.
I'm also
Freddie
gonna,
Mercury.
I'm also
Katy
gonna
Perry.
pick Freddie Mercury.
All right.
right? They're synonymous, right? Like Freddie Mercury, Katy Perry. That's
I mean, I thought so. I really did. If we're wrong, I don't want to be right.
So yeah, Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
10 out of 10. Honorable mention Cedric Bixler Zavala from At the Drive-In, Mars Volta.
Okay.
oh, wow.
Oh, well, yep.
Hey, we're forgetting Fergie's national anthem performance. That was
Amazing.
that's like top 10.
Top tier.
Top 10 songs to set myself on fire to. There we go. Right there.
Dude, one of the most popular, like, specific bass guitar channels on YouTube did his own, like, rendition of playing, like, bass under her national anthem performance. And I was like, I didn't even see it when she did it. So I was like, I don't get it. It went over my head.
Someone took it so far as to actually write out the sheet music for the national anthem and did Fergie's, and they wrote them all like fucking either flat or sharp. And it was just like, who had the time to do this? This is great.
The internet.
Actually, I want to change my answer. The singer of Shinedown. I don't know his name.
Oh,
yeah.
The singer of Shinedown.
Brent,
fucking crazy.
Brent Smith?
Sure. And
I think
he's
that's the
really good.
Honorable mention, singer of Shinedown, hands down.
Yeah, he's really good.
He is. I've seen him live a couple of times. He's fucking excellent. There's some stuff you don't expect him to be able to hit. And you know what I really like when they do the acoustic stuff. Like I know they got a couple of acoustic tracks, and man, his voice just
45 and
his
Simple Man.
Voice just really shines. Or like Burning Bright.
Right.
That's another one of my favorites of theirs. And man, his voice just fucking shines on those acoustic tracks.
I'll Follow You.
Yeah.
That's another great song.
One could say it shines down.
Ew.
Clean jokes.
He's like a Corey Taylor, but good. You know what I mean?
Right.
Ooh.
Send all your hate mail here.
Dude, he's gonna go on Ultimate Guitar and bash the band now.
What Earl is saying is true. Like, I completely agree with that statement. He's like a Corey Taylor, but good. Like,
I mean, Corey Taylor had his moments, but you know, most of his stuff was where he was best at when he was screaming and growling, and
Yeah.
you can only do so much with that, really. You know, when you really have to sing, like,
I'm looking at you through the glass.
oh God, let's not even.
I don't know how much time it's
Please.
I like that song.
I like that song.
I accidentally wrote a riff that sounded just like that, and I was like, oh shit, I can't use this now.
Earl wrote a Seether
I
song.
mean, I say that in jest, but it's you kind of get the point. Like the like the dude is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Hands down.
And stuff. So.
Shine
Yeah,
down.
their cover of Simple Man, I think, is actually a million times better than Skinner's.
Now, I like the rock version they did, actually, because they did two cuts. They did the one that was on the regular album, but then there's a rock version that was on the extended album, where it's more of a full band feel.
Mm-hmm.
I actually like that. I mean, I liked the stripped-down one, but I liked the full band version just a little bit more, because they had a little bit more oomph to it, a little more balls.
Yeah, it's like when people talk about, like, covers that do better, it's like that, and then, like, Johnny Cash's Hurt from Nine Inch Nails. It's just, like, the covers were better than the original songs, and
Right.
I seriously think Shinedown Simple Man is better than
Don't go hating on my man.
Who?
Trent Reznor. Out of like the two biggest bands that I'm fans of, it's AC/DC and Nine Inch Nails.
Well, even Reznor.
No,
said
I'm not
too.
saying Nine Inch Nails is
Reznor
bad. I'm
said,
just saying
it's no longer my
Johnny
song.
Cash
It's
is
now a
covered
Johnny
hers.
Cash song.
Yeah, I remember being a huge fan of high school and Nine Inch Nails, and my one friend's like, dude, I just heard, I can't believe Johnny Cash wrote that song. I'm like, no, he didn't. He's like, dude, yeah, he wrote a song. I was like, no, it's not. He's like, dude, he's so much older than that guy. I'm like, so? He's like, a week later, he's like, I'm sorry. And I'm like, I swear to God, I want to punch you right now.
Don't get me wrong, Closer is amazing.
Yes.
Johnny Cash does a way better job at Hurt than Nine Inch Nails.
What were we talking about?
Singers.
Yeah, singers.
We're on topic still.
We
so, where were you at? Were you?
It was your turn.
Oh, it's my turn now.
Yeah, he went with Freddie.
Okay, yeah, I mean, everybody says Freddie, so I'll say Freddie's my honorable mention. I can't, like, out of the two, it's probably, I like Trent Reznor a lot, because, I mean, more as, even just an all-around musician, more than a singer, but then going into obscurities, because, you know, we don't need enough of those, is this guy named Mike Lessard, who's the singer for Last Chance to Reason, and now the new singer for The Contortionist. And that guy he's got quite a vocal range, but he's also a really talented screamer, because I'm into a lot of the prog metal stuff.
Okay.
And his band, Last Chance to Reason, was like the pinnacle of like almost snooty prog metal that still sounds good, in my opinion. If I said that enough. I've seen him live a couple of times. The guy really belts out some notes. There's this like weird scream that he does. It almost sounds like a pterodactyl scream or something weird. But he holds the mic like, you know, like by his like dick or something like that, and it's still like the loudest thing you'll hear from the stage.
Like, it turns out it's actually his dick screaming.
Yeah. So there we have it.
All right.
A talented dick screamer.
Dan?
I want to change my answer.
Oh.
You can't change your answer again. It's
Yeah,
Dan, it's
no,
Dan's
hang on,
turn.
no. Hang on. All three of them in this room. This is a safe. No, fuck it. I hate that term, but still, go for it, girl.
Howard Jones, Kill Switch.
Ooh.
Okay, I thought you were going to say something stupid, but
Howie Mandel.
Now, I
Howie
like
Mandel,
Howard Jones, but I like
Killswitch
Killswitch's original
Fucking
singer
what?
for Last Serenade.
Jesse?
Yeah.
I like
Just
Howard
that song,
better than
though.
Jesse.
Howard's good for the rest of it, but for some reason, it's not
best singer,
as
Biscuit.
good. Oh,
Fred
Jesus.
Durst.
Said no one ever.
Yeah, right.
Dan, what's your answer?
Favorite singer. Even though he's a horrible singer as far as singing itself goes, for a storytelling / singing kind of reference, I'm going to have to go with Cash. Honorable mention would be Busta Rhymes as a lyricist, and then probably Hobson to follow that up as a lyricist.
Okay. Interesting. Bruce Dickinson, Iron Maiden, hands down, he's my favorite singer. I could just listen to that dude belt all fucking day long if you gave me the chance to. Honorable mention? Ooh. Katy Perry. I Katy Perry's up there. I'm not going to... She's up there, right there with Britney, you know. I mean, it's tough to say which one's better.
I'd take a Katy over Britney.
I take a Katie over Britney any day.
Yeah, me too.
Britney's too toxic.
You win, sir.
And Steve wins the evening. I don't know what you're... You need another beer? Another beer is your prize.
Sure, I'm not turning down
We'll
another
give him a
beer.
JD Power Award for best joke.
There we go.
It's in the mail.
Are you looking for a place to drop anchor and have a cold one? Come on down to the River Pub, where the drinks are cheap and the atmosphere is good. 6004 Buffalo Avenue, Niagara Falls, New York, where you can hang out inside or enjoy the atmosphere outside on the patio. But also, if you're not just satisfied with a drink, you can grab some grub at the pub, right next door at Submariners.
Where we pride ourselves with amazing quality products with generous portions.
So whether you're looking for food or a drink, follow them on Facebook at the River Pub Niagara, or you can also check out Submariners LaSalle Deli. Stop on in, the River Pub or Submariners, 6004 Buffalo Avenue, Niagara Falls, New York. See you down at the pub.
What's up, fuckers? It's Dan from Dan and Nick's Used Guitar Emporium. Guess what we just got in? This motherfucker right here. You see this goddamn thing? This
is what we like to call an extreme bass. Do you know why we call it an extreme bass? Because it's in the shape of a fucking X. It's so fucking metal. And obviously, I know metal. Like Nickelback and Katy Perry. And for reference, that latest Katy Perry album was fucking bonkers. It'll melt your goddamn face from the inside like a firework. See this thing right here? The headstock is pointy. So when you're in your fucking metal bands, you can impale your enemies. You can put their fucking corpse heads right on the goddamn guitar and play on the fucking stage with their heads on the guitar. Now I know what you're thinking. Dan, that bass has only got 2 strings. And you're fucking right. Do you want to know why it's only got 2 strings? A, it's rare. B, are you a bass player? Do you want to take your Delta Death, sludgecore, sewer grind, new metal band to new heights? Do you want to take your guitars and your basses and drop them to Q quarter flat? This fucker will do it right here. Because if you're going that low, you need room between the strings to move. Otherwise, they're just going to slap together and sound like shit. Filthy from corn. So, come on down to Dan and Nick's Used Guitar Emporium where we have this rare 2-string bass. Could be yours. And it's fucking extreme.
Are you looking for your next amplifier? Are you trying to redefine your sound? Do you need that piece of equipment to complement your amazing guitar playing? Well, look no further. Bison Electronics has what you need. Look up Bison Electronics online. Handmade from the ground up in Buffalo, New York.
Hand that one down. Congratulations, good sir.
Oh, thanks.
A fine pilsner.
Champagne of beer.
Now, Dickinson from Iron Maiden is my top. I mean, I even like the solo stuff. Eyes of the Dragon, fucking awesome song where he just really can take a note and run with it. Honorable mention.
The guy from Dragon Force?
We should bring it full circle.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, sure, that guy. No, the vice that he puts on his balls to hit those fucking notes. That's my runner-up right there. But yeah, there you go. That's my favorite singer though, is Bruce. He's just fucking awesome, I think, and performer too. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Maiden, either through video or in person, but he's not a big guy. He's a short little fucker. But man, he commands that stage like you don't see a lot of people do. And really knows how to work the crowd. He fucks around with his bandmates. I know he's constantly trying to get the drummer to fall off time. And just something about that I like. You know, you can really see that he's just enjoying everything that he's doing. And there's nothing that's going to bring that guy down. Plus, he's a fucking airline pilot.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Right.
That's insane.
He fences too, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Something like
He's just the dude. He's the dude that everybody kind of wants. Like, he flies fucking planes. He's in a rock band. What is happening? I'm just going to give up now. I don't fly planes. At least they won't let me. I've asked, and then they've asked me to promptly leave the airline.
Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh too hard. That's
No,
It's probably a good thing they don't let you fly planes, though.
Probably.
Let's be
at least
completely
yeah,
honest.
I'll let you take me out on a plane. I don't give a fuck.
Famous last words, anybody?
Yes, that's the way we go.
Famous
That's the way
last
we go.
words.
We die like men.
I'd rather go out that way than some shitty way.
There we go. We're going out like Leonard Skinner here.
Oh,
Face down in the fucking swamp.
wow.
And Skinner fans, check. Let's just see how many people I could piss off this season.
Only swamp we're gonna
Do
do
it
the
on the
crashing
solo
around here is like
episode.
fucking out.
Yeah, right?
We're just going to edit out every time I try and piss somebody, like a group off, and it's all going to be one episode
Dude, this is
edited
gonna be
together.
like,
We'll keep like a counter of like how many groups you've pissed off.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
10 minutes.
Skinner lost talent, though.
Fictional robot singer.
They really are.
Ooh.
You know what?
I like the guy.
Van Zandt's brother, he's a good singer, he is, but he's not Ronnie.
Did you say Rocky?
Robbie.
Oh.
Rocky
Yeah, wait,
Balboa.
Rocky. He's not his brother. I mean, he does an all right job. I've heard people say
Be
that.
a simple man.
Yeah.
I
did it!
I know.
I would love to see a rendition like that.
Do you smell that smell?
If anybody knows Sylvester Stallone, tell him that we want a cover of Simple Man. This is gonna be like some William Shatner shit. I can't fucking wait.
Oh, that would be great.
It will be, and you know it's gonna sell like thousands of fucking copies too. That's the worst part.
Oh yeah.
Or the best part. You know what? If it makes him happy, again, we come right back around to it. So be it. Just do you. Sylvester Stallone, do you.
He really needed your approval, so that's.
I mean, I always thought so. I just haven't had the medium to provide it, so here we go.
And now you do.
Yeah.
Right.
Thanks to the internet.
Thank you.
Right. Thank you,
We could
internet.
actually reach Sylvester Stallone, maybe.
Right.
We could maybe reach him.
Yeah,
I mean,
well, like
I'm
tweet,
gonna
tweet
send
the
this
link
to
at
him
him.
every single day.
Yeah.
Until he watch. Like, I'll do it up Andy Dufresne, like how he just sent the letter every single day until they finally just gave him the money for the library.
Good reference. Nice.
Just Stallone's getting a copy of this every fucking day until we get a
Until
response.
it's like heard in the next Rocky movie during a montage.
Either that or they send me a cease and desist letter.
Well, then you'll have his autograph, right?
At least I'll know he got it. Once I got the cease and desist.
I'm just talking.
It's like the beginner belt of like the G.G. Allen school of rock.
Yeah, right. Oh, man, he's one I could never. I tried to get into G.G. Allen. I just couldn't. It just wasn't for me. You know, I didn't get the art and the performance, and he was just off the fucking wall. There's blood everywhere. I mean, I've definitely ripped my fucking head open on stage by accident. Never on purpose, though. Never on purpose. We're not going to make that a thing either.
It's all you, man.
Next time on the Exum Priory Show, Nick rips his own forehead open.
Some Ozzy Osbourne shit.
I guess I could bite the head off the
Who
bat.
cares his scrotum?
You don't want to.
Oh,
Remember you like almost broke your shoulder
which time?
just recently? Didn't
Oh
you?
yeah, when I ripped my shoulder out of the socket. That was fun.
And never played a show.
Yeah, and then I had to play a show like a week and a half later.
That was the Grave Show.
Was it?
I think that was the Grave Show.
What happened to you on New Year's Eve, man? Your face went all.
Oh yeah, I allergic fucking reaction to something. And
bad.
yeah, it sucked. It sucked bad. Whatever. You played through the pain.
That, and I think the acoustic show, you had a broken foot.
No broken toes.
Yeah, toes.
How did I break those anyway?
I don't know.
I don't remember either.
Oh, you tripped down the stairs.
There was probably
You
alcohol
you
involved.
fell down the stairs.
Down those goddamn stairs.
Yeah.
Dislocated my shoulder doing that. Broke
Come
my
out of
toes.
nowhere.
Wait, that was when I was getting out of the shower.
Oh, yeah.
I broke my toes.
Nick, do you remember when we did? We both played the shows at Kelly's Corner. It was like when Twin Lines first started, and you went and did like an acoustic thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that. Vaguely. There was a lot of alcohol involved that evening. And most of the evenings leading up to it. And most of the evenings after it, actually.
I think
Actually, there's still a lot of alcohol involved.
I think you did. We did a couple fourth wall things at Foley's. I think you did a couple. Like it would be like open mics at Foley's.
Yep.
And we would host it sometimes, and like you would come and do some songs.
I like doing the solo acoustic thing here and there. It just gives me something different to do. 'Cause, I
It's
mean,
fun.
plus when I got out of the band stuff, when I was doing Lucid Fire for so long, I left that whole situation so unhappy because that band pretty much imploded. It ended in a fist fight. Like me and the bass player didn't talk again for good 2-3 years. And at that point, I was just done with bands. I didn't want to deal with it anymore. I wanted to do something different that was still music. So I started doing the solo acoustic thing, and I had fun with it for a long while. I still do it occasionally, but eventually I got lonely on stage. I'm like, I miss having people up here to interact with and fuck around with. And then I found these assholes, and we started doing it all over again. And nobody's taken a swing at anybody yet. Almost a couple times, but not yet.
There's been a couple.
Yeah. Sometimes we get mouthy. It happens.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
Hit somebody.
Yeah, I guess. But yeah, so that's why I started doing the whole solo acoustic thing. And plus, it was good money, too. I was able to go out. It was just me. I didn't have to worry about splitting money with anybody.
Not a whole lot of equipment.
Right, yeah. It takes me like 5 minutes to set up, and I'm ready to go. I can sit there, crack a beer open, relax.
Of course, it was nice to have your guitar tech with you the last show.
Yeah.
Heavy-handed bastards breaking low E strings on acoustics.
What?
Yeah.
All right.
I am really heavy-handed. Like my SG, I have a modified string set on that where the high E is a 13, the low E
56.
Yeah, it's a 56 on it.
Okay.
And I think the G string is a fucking piano wire. I'm really heavy-handed, but that's what I put on my Gibson. But I know everything else is 10s. But I find anything low, like thinner, like 9s, I rip right fucking through. Like, I'll snap them in the first 2 goddamn songs, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've always gravitated towards the heavier gauge strings. In fact, I think even occasionally I'll do something a little bit heavier, like I might do an 11 on a guitar, but I usually gravitate back and forth between those. Now, how about you? What gauge strings do you guys typically use?
10.
10?
I have 9s and I keep breaking the high E string, so I might need to go up to...
Time to get 10s.
Yeah, it's time to get 10s.
I mean, yeah, we stay in standard tuning, so we don't have to get too many of the heavy gauges.
That's
These secrets.
I mean, we don't play in standard. We play in drop F
C sharp.
flat.
Drop F flat.
Drop F flat.
It's a crazy concept. You can write really good sounding music in standard tuning.
Well, that's what we're almost always in standard tune. We got a couple of songs in drop D, but other than that, everything else is in standard.
Yeah, once you go low enough, it all sounds the same live, anyways.
Right. Well, that and I always found that the lower tunings were meant for. I know a lot of the reason that a lot of bands started to go with their real low guttural tunings because the singers couldn't really keep up with the regular tone. They need something a little bit lower so they could sing in that general range.
Okay, yeah.
Call it what it is. Screaming and growling.
I didn't want to call anybody out,
You
but
don't
all
call
right.
anybody out. I'm a metal kid. It's screaming and growling.
You know what? You're right. I've been pissing off everybody else. Hang on, we're gonna have another
you're
check
walking
mark
on
here.
eggshells now? Like,
Yeah, hang on.
wait, hold on.
Everyone else.
All right, so
What
you
happened?
people that tune down the fucking C sharp, your singer can't fucking sing. Tell him to go get some fucking vocal lessons and hold a note for a little bit.
You piss off
Well,
the
I have
metal
a
community
conversation
online,
with
they'll get you.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, you're right. They're everywhere. They don't need a canoe. Nicaragua, I didn't forget about you.
This is Nick's opinion, by the way.
Totally my opinion. This is obviously all my
Well, that's
opinion.
the thing. You're not singing when you're in drop fucking C sharp. Occasionally
Some
you
bands
are.
might.
Some might.
Right,
But it's more of that growling, screaming, heavier metal sound.
right.
Yeah,
Because that's what.
Screaming too, though.
that's what evolved over time.
Yeah.
Mm,
Now,
no,
I do know bands that go to an E flat tuning because their singer can't hit the standards. You're still standard-ish tuning.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You're just a half step flat.
Well, I mean Metallica even. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure they've been going to E flat for probably since like Load.
It's been 97.
Yeah, so I want to say Load Reload is when they tuned down a half step. I don't know if they were looking for a different tone or maybe because Hatfield was getting a little
It's
bit
hard to
older.
sing. You try singing Ride the Lightning and
Right.
let me.
No,
It's a hard.
I know it's our fucking
Singing it like
no,
you're a fucking 21-year-old kid.
I feel like we stopped doing the Nick and Dan show a long time ago, and we just been bullshitting.
That's
That is the
kinda
Nick and
what-
Dan
I
show.
was gonna say, I thought that was the...
Yeah, that's the
That's-
premise of the show.
It really is.
You mean I could have left an hour ago?
So, gentlemen, it's been a lot of fucking fun having you guys in. We've had completely irreverent conversations that went one way or the other. But I'm sure the people out there are dying to know what does Tokyo Monsters sound like? What does this amazing concept come forth and do to our ear holes?
Sounds like.
There you go. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Have a great night. No. So coming up next, we're going to give you guys a little bit of a taste of Tokyo Monsters and what you are missing out on. Make sure to catch them live. They're out all the time in Western New York, usually for a pretty decent price, too.
Yeah.
Now we give you Tokyo Monsters. Hi there. This is Nick from Dan Nick's Used Guitar Emporium. I know what y'all are thinking out there. Down there at that little small shop, all they got is about 4 guitars and that's about it. You're wrong. Need yourself a microphone? Think you're not fucking loud enough? You're right. You need to be louder so everybody can hear you. Grab this microphone right here. You can hold it like this, or if you want to be an asshole, like this. Need cables? Got them bitches too. Come on down to Dan Nick's Used Guitar Emporium, where you can make your ass louder. If you want to have more of the Nick and Dan Show weekly, be sure to check them out on YouTube at XM Priory, EXHAMPRIORY, Tuesdays every week. You want to see Tokyo Monsters coming up live? Well, you can, and your opportunity is August 24th in Nietzsche's, 248 Allen Street, Buffalo, New York, 14201. Catch our boys, Tokyo Monsters, along with Kurt Riley, The Feast, and Church Key Social. Friday, August 24th, starting at 10 p.m., see Tokyo Monsters tear it up on stage at Nietzsche's, Buffalo. For $5. You can't beat that. Go out and see Tokyo Monsters live August 24th in Nietzsche's at 248 Allen Street, Buffalo, New York. Are you looking for a place to drop anchor and have a cold one? Come on down to the River Pub, where the drinks are cheap and the atmosphere is good. 6004 Buffalo Avenue, Niagara Falls, New York, where you can hang out inside or enjoy the atmosphere outside on the patio. And also, if you're not just satisfied with a drink, you can grab some grub at the pub, right next door at Submariners.
Where we pride ourselves with amazing quality products with generous portions.
So whether you're looking for food or a drink, follow them on Facebook at the River Pub Niagara, or you can also check out Submariners LaSalle Deli. Stop on in, the River Pub or Submariners, 6004 Buffalo Avenue, Niagara Falls, New York. See you down at the pub.
Dancing in the back of the room, throwing down like you got some.
that's all from the Nick and Dan Show for this week. Be sure to tune in on the YouTube channel at XM Priory for Tuesday Antics, plus the full extended version every Thursday on allwnyradio.com.